Greetings everyone on the PvZ Madness channel. Don't ask me what's happening on the screen, you'll find out a little later. Today we are going to have some real Jurassic chaos. I don't want to wait too long, I want to get down to business, and it's about Ankylosaurus, ulting Citron and a bunch of different ways to create PvZ Madness with them. Let's go! Let's start with the simplest one, which is the basis for the whole video. Basically, if you attack a zombie pushed by Ankylosaurus with Citron's ult, we get this broken electrified thing. Now it's time to start experimenting and develop the theme. The zombie is teleportable just like before. The poor thing now has to survive another blow from the lizard's mace. This time it flew like a rocket, and with the next plant we can make things even worse. The fat battered makes the zombie shrink and wander around in the middle of nowhere. Right now, for example, it's happily gobbling up the mover wheel. The zombie will enlighten itself after a good feat of first-rate rubber. True, I forgot that he's already defective and his texture doesn't match the real location. I had to dig up the battered in an emergency. Well, and then the zombie had no problems and flew to bring the light of knowledge to his other fellows. I want to note, it's just the beginning, further will be even more interesting. I wanted to see if I could make a block of ice from this dead guy. The block turned out to be kind of ordinary, but not quite. It stands flat on the surface, but it's shrouded in sparkling lighting, which looks quite spectacular. Where else will you see such a block of ice? Only here. Something prompted me to teleport the zombie with the teleportator mine. It could have been successful, but I got nostalgic for time and saved the zombies. I didn't get a new madness, but look how spectacular it turned out. Ankylosaurus pushed a trio of zombies, but two of them are knocked down by Citron and the third remains. I thought it was a very impressive moment. Alright, we are not here for spectacular, we are here for madness. That's why I chose the veteran bull next for the experiment. He has the ability to destroy plants with one punch. Let's see how it looks in such an unconventional position. It looks unusual, to say the least. Then, by repeating the Citron attack, I flip the zombie on 90 degrees. Let's see how in this position will look like his attack, and for extra beauty we will make him attack not static plants, but for example different kinds of zomboids. The turkey flew up and the bully wriggled to hit it. Well, really, when attacking in this position, he looks like an epileptic who has eaten waste from the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. I don't know why, but I don't even like watching him convulse. I wonder how the battle with the soy zomboid will look like. And it looks even more disgusting with him. How's this for a freeze frame? What's going on here? Okay, it's time to stop this mess, and I'm calling the soy gargantua himself. This is going to be, I'm not afraid to say, Kama Sutra. The bully sometimes only has his legs in a horizontal position. The untrained viewer may think, what's wrong with this scene? It's finally over, but the bully's lifeless body is sympathetic. I'm not going to be sad, so let's move on. And yet sadness found me when trying to break Gargantua. It turned out that it doesn't work with him. Citron's energy sphere doesn't turn Gag over. Apparently he's too heavy, or maybe it's because he doesn't get thrown off the lawn by Citron's ult, unlike most other zombies. The various mechanical opponents from the future don't break either, and I would have loved to see Mika Footballer twitch when he was upside down trying to push someone, but no such luck. I thought maybe try to turn a regular broken zombie into Gag by Hypnoshroom and then something will work, but even here I was waiting for a fiasco. Gag turned out to be completely ordinary, just hypnotized. I'm not used to giving up, so I decided to at least buck a mini Gag from Z-Corp. At the same time, for more similarity, a little pumped it and increased the size with the help of Cardio Zombie. It turned out to be such a fake from AliExpress, but it still works. I think he's even funnier because of his speed. Such a mad dwarf with a bat. I really laughed from his wave with the stick. I feel like Cartman who saw Lilliput. That's it, I'm done with Gags. I want to check out a couple more plans. For example, how will the horizontal zombie look like in the Inferno Vortex? And it will look quite nice, only legs sticking out of the tornado, and the zombie itself is hidden by the flames of the hurricane. As we finish the last Inferno run, I have one more idea. I want to give this poor guy a head massage from Celery. Unfortunately, contrary to my expectations, the massage didn't come, to put it bluntly, in the head area, but let's not talk about the details, that's fine too. But look how perfectly this zombie lays down in the grave. If before he fell under the ground vertically, now it's just perfect. Another big disappointment was the fact that Ankylosaurus doesn't push flying zombies, but it would have been such a great madness. Still, let's look on the bright side. Trying in any way to make the lizard to realize the push of pilot, I flipped another zombie as much as 180 degrees. Earlier I was able to make him at 90, and here immediately upside down. And now we certainly will not miss the opportunity to see how in this case will behave zombie caught in the vortex of Inferno, and he will behave as gracefully as possible. Now his legs stick out not horizontally behind the fiery tornado and vertically up. I give a solid 5 for acrobatic art. Well, it's not a sin to repeat the massage procedures again. This time the session begins with celery beating an empty place. Only a second later there is a client who eventually dies of ecstasy and even more gracefully puts his headless body under the mover to sleep. Perfect.
Flawless victory.
By the way, returning to the flying zombies, there's one improvised Icarus among them, who can be hit by a dinosaur with the mace on his tail, and looking ahead, this character is about to unleash some PvZ madness. Look at how he's wobbling, even the bully looks like a stage against him, and now he also flew away, but we know that he is actually walking in the center, he's given out by the shadow and lightning. We blow what we can on this lane and Prospector is forced to shift to the very bottom of the screen and then still makes the return trip. This can be repeated endlessly and only a second hit with Citron's ult brings him to his senses. If you can tell from looking at Prospector that he's come to his senses at all, I think he is on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Zombie Necromancer, although he doesn't fly, I was curious how he would throw bones from an awkward position. Overall he had no difficulty, even after flipping he still littered alone. I then turned him a little more and now he's parallel to the floor. How he in this case didn't choke on a bone, I don't know. I was taught from childhood that chewing lying down is not allowed, and this one is apparently okay. Will he be okay if I shrink him? Yes, the shrinking works too. It's fine. Now the Ankylosaurus will be paired with the pterodactyl. I wonder what flying a broken dead guy on this flying lizard will look like. We have the zombie ready and here comes the pterodactyl flying. He grabs the dead guy by anything, so the poor guy flies, but after landing the texture of the zombie is again behind the movers. The situation with the Prospector is repeated. I stopped being surprised by it today. In fact, I even began to worry that after the video with time and today's madness with Ankylosaurus, I began to get used to the madness and no longer surprised by anything. Hopefully there will be something else in the game to expand our horizons of imagine about PvZ madness. It turned out to be a strange volleyball. Poor zombie with a skull, I've already tortured him today, what's he in for? I guess it's time to move on to other species. Dinosaurs are done, let's get to the pets. First in line will be Hand. I'll check in with the owner and then maybe try to catch even one individual hand with Citron. The handkeeper himself behaves like other normal zombies, he just took an unusual position and move on. I'm most interested in how his chickens will run out, maybe they will run vertically upwards? Can you imagine how funny that would look? Unfortunately it didn't happen, the chickens went up as usual, it's a shame, so I'll try to catch at least one chicken separately with Citron. It wasn't easy to do it, and it was almost impossible to do it without ice cabbage, but I did manage to do it. The upside down feathered creep is certainly funny, but not very funny. There are other interesting zombies in the Wild West. Like the piano player, for example, I couldn't remember if Citron's soul throws him out or not, so I assumed it just might not work on him, you know, like with Gaku machines, but no, the piano player rolled over like a sweetheart. It's probably not very comfortable to play a musical instrument in such a position, but let's give him credit, he's not short of skill, he rattles on calmly even in such a situation. Moreover, he looks like a flying thing, in short, the perfect artist for a corporate party, and in general, zombies from the Wild West are enjoying today. Here both the Prospector and the pianist are on fire, but the coolest of all is the veteran bull. You've already seen the bull at the beginning of the clip, but now let's dwell on him in more detail. What a fine-tuned movements he has. There are not convulsions of bully, it's almost a dance. It's funny, but he throws his rider horizontally, just like a chicken farmer, and he continues to gallop as he can. Now he will take the acceleration and will be my favorite part. The bull catches up with the rider with his stunning movements, like an cast caterpillar. Jumping, kicking, you can watch it forever. I would even leave it at the very end of the video as a highlight, but I decided to put it in the beginning and middle, because at the end there will be something else no less interesting. You can't do this video without Medusa and her rocks. No, the stone blocks won't be eating each other today, that's for time. Today I will try to turn a broken zombie into a stone. For this purpose we take Beta, take the zombie, and it escaped again. But still Medusa was able to turn it into a block, and unfortunately the block turned out to be the most ordinary. At least the ice one had lightning, and this one doesn't even have lightning. Why don't we switch the participants of the experiment? Now Medusa herself is an invalid and Centurion goes to look into her shameless eyes, except that Medusa under the influence of Beta Salt flew behind the movers and from there didn't turn the Roman into a stone, tried several times. I decided that the experiment is over, but I threw this beast and then went in unexpected madness. First the lady climbed up on Centurion's shoulders, and then she wanted to push something intangible. Why the hell would she do it? Maybe she's having a flashback to a past life where she's pushing stages? I mean really, there wasn't a stage on the lawn, why would she remember it now? After that she froze, however I managed to reanimate her with the same method. Anyway, I didn't plan this at all, it was unexpected. But the lady from Z-Cop, like the kitchen, could only be caught when she was frozen. In addition, I had to plant barricades of walnuts so that she wouldn't get into the movers before time, but when everything worked out I was completely satisfied. This beast runs all over the lawn and its textures has its own life in completely different places. Due to her track changing ability, she's either in the middle, down in the middle, or hiding outside of the visible area altogether. All in all, praise! Here's one who can rival even veteran bully in terms of the quality of madness he carries today. Jester is one of my favorite zombies and he didn't let me down. His gate without Citron looks like a clone's antics, which is exactly what he is, and when broken he looks like some kind of animated sausage in pantyhose. But the fun part starts when we fire a pea shooter at him, preferably with feet. Just look at this drill. No comments. Once you get to Walnut, you can get a real engine, hook up the drive and you can extract the benefits. I like this drill so much, and judging by the lightning around Jester, it's also an electric drill that I refused to put Jester at the beginning of the video and change it to a bull. That's kind of the highlight of today's video. I left the Magician and his clown assistant at the very end. It's less fun here, but I'll need the Magician for the end of the video. You'll see why. Well, I'm finishing this video, I'm sure it's on par with the Time and Truth videos in its concentration of insanity. I hope for your likes and subscriptions, don't forget to click the bell, and now I take my hat off to you as this inverted fool. In my opinion, I can't think of a better goodbye already. Bye everybody!